Hello guys, how are you doing? Happy Sunday, everybody. It's your boy Dave Partner. Today we're going to be discussing two topics. Just join in. Once you join in, click the like button. Let me know that you've joined in. All right. Two topics. The proliferation of fake prophets. Fake prophets don't too plenty for Nigeria. Wait till we do them. Too many fake prophets. Right? Too many. We're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about paternity fraud because that's what's trending. If you're not the online social media person or type, just know that if you go to Twitter now, DNA is testing. Another thing that is testing is Dangote Nyash, but that's a story for another what if. I'm saying, okay, but people are tagging together, both of them together, that your girlfriend could be dating the richest man in the world. You should do DNA test. So we're gonna kick off once people join in. Make sure that you click the like button so I can see that you're already here, or just say hi in the comments section. Okay, so paternity fraud. Let's start with false prophets. Too many false prophets in one country. Too many false prophets. Or too many prophecies that are not getting fulfilled. Which one do we call it? Are they false prophets, or is it that their prophecy wasn't fulfilled? If their prophecy wasn't fulfilled, how then do you tell if they are not false prophets? You get what I'm saying? Who is a prophet, first of all? Let's do a little Google search of who a prophet is. Don't forget to click the like button. Okay, that thumbs up icon below this video, just click on it. So let's say define prophet. So if we can find who a prophet is, then we can tell whether we have too many false prophets, or is it just that their prophecy isn't getting fulfilled. Wikipedia says in religion, a prophet is an individual who is regarded as being in contact with a divine being, and is said to speak on the entity's behalf, okay? Serving as an intermediary between humanity by delivering messages or teachings from the supernatural source to the people. Okay, so basically there is this divine entity here, and then there is the people here. A prophet is someone here that serves as an intermediary. Okay, of course, by now I know you have a question. Like me, I have a question. Why can't the divine entity speak to the people directly? Why must it pass through a prophet? Like, is he shy? The divine entity or entities or beings, are they shy to talk to the people? Why do they have to talk to one man, and that one man will communicate to 7.6 billion people? It doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, that's question number one. Keep it by the side. So let's see another definition. Like I said, drop comments. I'm reading your comments. Okechi, what's up? Happy New Year, everybody, man. If you did not remember me last Sunday, what do you call it? We don't pay tithes. How do pastor collect all this money now? Some of you that did not send me Christmas gift and New Year gift. See your life. You will not chat me up and say, send the account number. Let us ginger your account. Ezra. Oh, wow. Ezra says it's 2:45 a.m. in where he is, and he's watching me live. Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks a lot. Let us know which country you are tuning in from in the comments, all right? Let us know where you're watching from. Okay, so a prophet is a person regarded as an inspired teacher or proclaimer of the will of God. Now, what you have to understand basically is that a prophet is the mouthpiece. So they are supposed to tell the people what the divine being or God wills, okay? Okay, Christianity has a lot of prophets, okay, and prophecies. So let's look at what is a prophecy. Define prophecy. Prophecy said that whatever will happen in future, okay, that's it. Prophecy is saying what will happen in future. Let's see a better definition. A prophecy is a message that is claimed by a prophet to have been communicated to them by a deity. The key word here is claim. Look at claim. Do you know why they use claim here? Because the people that they are prophesying to cannot verify what they are saying by speaking to the deity directly. For some mysterious reason, the deity or God doesn't want to talk to people directly. He's going to talk through a prophet. And so somebody showed up in your house and says that God told them to give you a message. Like seriously, God you have been praying to inside your room for decades throughout your life. When that God finally wants to respond, he's going to go to somebody, some stranger's house and tell them what to tell you. You see, there's a problem. So if that happens, it doesn't invalidate the prophecy. Don't mistake me. Don't think don't misquote me. All right. Let me expand this a little. It doesn't invalidate the prophecy. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get something. So that somebody walked up to you and said, God told me this, it doesn't make it false. Now that's where some atheists and stuff make mistakes. That somebody walks up into your house or somebody is in a church. Maybe you went to a church or your friend's wedding or some pastor prophesied to you. That God did not talk to you directly does not make that message by that pastor false. You understand? So what you have to do is you have to verify it, just like in every other thing. Any message that comes to you, you have to verify it. Okay, so in the case of the whole false prophecy thing, there needs to be some sort of verification. Okay, so if this entity talks to this prophet and this prophet now talks to you, how do you verify? The way you verify is that if it's a prophecy, a prediction of the future, what you do is, if that thing eventually comes out, then in a way it kind of made sense that this guy was a little inspired by the time he was telling you that, even though that's not foolproof, because anybody can say anything and it will eventually happen. Okay, but one good way to verify if this guy was really inspired, if the message was really correct, is to watch out if that thing they said will happen. If it happens, then we can start looking at more of their message. Then we check for consistency. So if you come and tell me that Super Eagles will beat Argentina in a football match, fine. All right. If they finally beat, good, that's one. Then for me to verify that this is not just a guesswork, I have to look at all your other prophecies. Did it come to pass? in science, right? Statistics. If something is correct more than 50% of the time, then it's no longer guesswork. That means there's some way that person is getting the correct answer. But if I check your prophecies and it's successful only like even 49.99% of the time, is guesswork. Hey, Ezra is in California. What's up? So the issue we're facing in Nigeria is that I don't know when this thing happened or started, but I think it's about somewhere around 5-10 years ago. Every beginning of the year, prophets want to come and stand in front of their church and predict what's going to happen during the year. Like seriously. And I used to tell people, look, you don't need prediction. You don't need prophecy. You don't need prophecy in your life. Prediction, okay, right? Because when people are predicting, they are honest about their source of information. For instance, there's something that a young man might be doing in a village. The elders will call the young man and say, look, with the way you are going, you will not live long. You see, that's not a prophecy, it's a prediction, because they have told you their source of information, which is the way you are going. They have studied your life in the past, and they can predict from their wealth of experience that somebody towing this path will not last long. You know, if somebody told me that, then I will have to go and do some self-reflection to be sure that this guy is not lying or something. You understand? But in reality, if somebody comes to tell me, God told me last night that you will not live long, that's bullshit, right? Like, what am I expected to do? So if I live long, they will now say that it's because usually what they do is they will add pray. Once they predict something, they will add pray. You should pray that that thing will not happen. If they add that prayer, it means that if that thing happens, they will say, yes, they prophesied it. If it doesn't happen, they'll be like, it's because your prayer worked. Like some of them will say that Donald Trump, I'm seeing, like before the election, it was difficult guessing who is going to win. So some prophets will come and say, I'm seeing Donald Trump lose this election if care is not taken. Any prophecy that contains if is a scam. A prophecy cannot contain if means that there are either of two or even more possible outcomes. A prophecy is supposed to come to pass. You understand? So if somebody said, if, let me give you an example. Somebody will say, you will have accident. I'm seeing you have accident on the 24th of next month. If care is not taken. If you pray, you will not have accident. But if you don't pray, you will have accident. What does that mean? You know, this person has said all the possible outcomes. You get what I'm saying? So a prophecy should not contain all the possible outcomes. If it contains that, it's useless. Like, you don't even have to tell me. Like, tell me that I see you passing this exam, but if you don't pray, you will fail. Those are the two possible outcomes, right? It's either I pass or fail. Now you've given me the two. Is that a prophecy? That's bullshit. You understand? So that's how these people do that. They come and give you all the possible outcomes, and then at the end of the day, what you end up seeing is that anything that eventually happens, they will say, yes, we said it. Another tactics they use in Nigeria that most even churchgoers don't even understand yet is a pastor, because a year has 52 Sundays. All right. If something is going to happen towards the ending of the year, a pastor can take different Sundays to predict all the different possible outcomes. So in the beginning of the year, first Sunday of the year, they say, I see Donald Trump winning this election. God told me, as I'm seeing it, God told me that Donald Trump will win. We should just pray that they will not snatch the election from him. You see, two possible outcomes. One, like in the next month, 2-3 Sundays after, he'll come back and say, I'm seeing Joe Biden win. God told me that Joe Biden will win, that Trump will do everything, but Joe Biden will win. Or Biden. American people hate it that I'm calling it Biden. If you don't like it, come and beat me. I'm in my house. Okay. So next 3 Sundays, it's going to predict something else. And before you know it, within the first quarter of the year, they have predicted all the possible outcomes in different Sundays. They will tell their media team to save it. If any of them happens, they will just pull up the video and say, watch it. I predicted it. Is this not accurate? You understand? So at the end of the day, what you get is a situation where these prophets give you all the possible outcomes. And then at the end of the day, you say he's an accurate prophet. He's not accurate anything. He's just playing on your intelligence. So if a prophecy does not come to pass, can we confidently say that the prophet is a fake prophet? The prophecy is fake news? You understand what I'm saying? So let's look at what prediction is. What is prediction? So like I said earlier, I prefer prediction, a forecast. Okay? A prediction or forecast is a statement about a future event. They are often, but not always, based upon experience or knowledge. There is no universal agreement about the exact difference from estimation. Different authors and disciplines ascribe different connotations. So prediction, estimation, they sound alike, right? Or they almost mean the same thing. But prediction is somebody coming to say something about the future. Most of the time it's based on knowledge or experience. So if somebody comes to tell me, like, you take your car to a mechanic to fix the tire, maybe to change oil. In the process of changing the oil, the mechanic looks at your tire, you understand, and gauges the tire and tells you that this tire might blow someday because it's not properly, the pressure is not proper. So if they tell you that this thing will happen because of this, you see, that's prediction. So if you want to know whether you should take a prediction serious, you investigate the source of information. You ask him, how do you know? He'll show you that pressure gauge and tell you, look at what I checked. If the pressure is between this and that, then your tire is good. But your tire is above this. You understand? That pressure gauge convinces you because now the source of the information is authentic. But if somebody just walk up to you and say, hey, let's say the mechanic actually used that pressure gauge and checked and saw that your tire might blow someday, but hides the pressure gauge and tells you, hey, look, your tire will blow. The Holy Spirit told me that your tire will blow. You ask them why. They say, I don't know. It's the Holy Spirit. I can't question God. You know, even though they might be saying the truth, they are being mischievous because they're not exposing their source of information. You can't trust such a person. You don't even want such a person in your life because they are being mischievous. And why are they being mischievous? Why is he hiding his source? Maybe he wants to get something from you. Is he format? So this is how it happens in Nigerian churches. For some of you that have not been in Nigeria in a long time, women are most susceptible to this. If there's a latest prophet in town, go there, you will see women plenty. Because women are more prayerful than men. In Nigeria, particularly, I don't know about other countries. So when you go to such places, like a mother, let's say your mother shows up there, the prophet will be like, "Hey, mama, how are you?" This, that. They'll act friendly. They'll ask you, where are your children? How many children do you have? The woman will say, I have 4 kids. So where is the other one? This one is in America. Okay, this one is say, what of the one in this, that? Before you know it, the woman will say, it's my last one that's giving me problems. Every time he's fighting in school. They have rusticated him from 2 schools now. It's giving me problem. I don't know. They'll be like, no, don't worry. So just come to church next Sunday. The Lord will speak, blah, blah, blah. Next Sunday, in the middle of the church, the pastor is preaching. He cites the woman. He ignores her. After like 1 hour, he'll be like, there's a woman here. You have 4 children. One is in America. One is here. The woman will come and pastor. This, that. Have I? Before you know it, they're giving you accurate prophecies, but they actually got the information from you. In other cases, they ask people about you. I've seen prophets go to villages where they conduct mass crusades. But before they arrive there, they have gotten information from some of the villagers, dubiously. So by the time they come, they'll prophesy there is an old man somewhere. He's the one holding this entire town. This thing I'm telling you is real. I've seen it happen where a fake prophet showed up, prophesied against an old man. The whole village went and lynched the man. They went and killed the man. They said all the young men here that are supposed to be succeeding in life, that they are not succeeding because what? This old man is holding him, and there's a tree in that village that needs to be cut down. Before you know, they have started deforestation, killing innocent trees. You get it? So it's a plague. False prophecy is a plague. Now, you might not see the damage. It looks normal until there's this example I normally give, right? The example is the example of, let's say that there's a young lady you want to marry, right? And this young lady is prayerful. They have always told you to marry a prayerful lady. So you're looking for a prayerful lady. Finally, you see this church's lady. And honestly, the lady likes prayer and she believes in pastors and prophets and whatever. So she's a very honest woman being at that point. Then you marry her. You understand? Maybe pastor has been praying for her to find a husband. Finally, she finds a husband. To her, that's a confirmation that the pastor is what? Real. Now you marry her, move to another city. She picks another church and she's going. And one day, a fake prophet calls her out in the congregation and said that the reason that you have not succeeded in life is your husband. He's using your destiny to succeed. Because she is somebody that believes this kind of believes prophets. She's susceptible to believing that message. And once she believes it, you're ruined. The whole marriage is ruined because if she's coming back, it's not the same person that you're receiving back in that family. And they will tell her that this child, where is the mother-in-law? Maybe she's carrying a newborn baby. Where is the mother-in-law? It should be like the mother-in-law is at home. She's staying with us. They say that the mother-in-law is the one trying to use the destiny of this child. I'm seeing this child great, but the mother-in-law want to use the child for this, that. So what do you notice? Back and she becomes hostile to the mother-in-law, the mother of the husband. Fight will start everywhere. If the mother is visiting, the lady will bow that if she visits her, she will leave the house and blah, 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 blah. You wonder what is happening. You will not know that prophet has given her wrong information. So when people are overly prayerful, they are usually the victims of fake prophets. So if you are overly prayerful, always watch out for that kind of thing, because those are usually the victims. They cannot come to people that don't believe shit and use them as victims. You get, if Yahoo boys want to scam people, they will usually go to people that are scammable. You understand? They will go to people that can raise the funds that they need. They'll go to people that can make the transfer that they need, but then don't understand the whole process. You get, so there's always a target market. So if you're usually or dealing with somebody, it's like living with somebody that believes in how do you call it, blood money. You know, somebody's telling you that, man, this my cousin did blood money, he has blood. This one did in my village. There's this guy that was struggling, he killed his mother and he blew this. They're telling you this, then you ask them, they say, yeah, it works. That person has become a threat to your life, because one day, when they run into financial issue, you know, they'll start looking at you like food. They might use you as a scapegoat or blood money. You can't even live in the same house with that kind of person with your two eyes closed, because they might use you for blood money or rituals. So that's the same danger as somebody that is too churchious. You know, if you're too churchious and you believe in prophets too much, you run into that kind of, you become prone to that kind of scam. There's this story that trended on Twitter like 4 or 5 days ago. A man bought a car for his wife like 2 years ago. Boom, the woman carried the car and gave the pastor. Yeah. So the man was like, okay, I can bear it. 2 years later, the man was able to raise money, you know, buy another car for the wife. Within a short period, the woman carried the car again and went to the pastor again and gave it again. Oh boy, the guy now arranged his men. They stormed the pastor's office, you know, and told the pastor, if you don't give us the key to that house, that car, nah, you go see different kind of madness, you know. Pastor had to package the key of the car and give them back. You know, if you listen to this story, it sounds fake, but you can actually see the pictures. The man posted pictures when they went to the pastor's place. I think there was a video or so. Collected their car back. Now, is the woman a bad woman? She's not a bad woman. She's just prone. You know, she's just prone to that kind of scam. You get. So being somebody that love the things of God, that's the way Nigerians put the phrase, you love the things of God, you love all the whole church process. Be careful not to fall into that kind of temptation. Now, one of the biggest type of scams that they do in church, this type usually work in a big church, right? Most fake pastors usually have a syndicate, fake prophecy and fake miracle syndicates. Basically, a team of about 10 people, 15 people. They usually have a right-hand man that goes to fetch this kind of people for them. Once they have that team, anywhere they're going for crusade, they go with these people. You know, these people will be positioned at different parts of the church. You understand? So once the pastor starts praying, they will start falling under the anointing. They start falling, you know. At the end, you think that the Holy Spirit is moving in the crowd. You don't know that it's just 15 people scamming the rest of the 2,000 or 3,000 worshippers. You get what I'm saying? And I used to tell people that in human nature, good people are usually trying to be straightforward. And that's a weakness. You know, good people are usually trying to be straightforward and they expect every other person to be straightforward. See, if you're a good person and you enter a relationship with a bad-minded person, and the person is scamming you, you may not know for years. It may take you 30 years to finally figure out that you are scammed. You know, that's where we're going to with the paternity fraud. It may take you years because what? You're good. You can't imagine that somebody else would do something you can't do. So let's say 5,000 good people go to a crusade that is being organized by a fake pastor. This fake pastor can scam all of them with just 10 people. 10 people from his secret cult or secret society or his crime syndicate. You know? If you think that what I'm saying is a lie, go to YouTube, all right? Let's even do it small. Go to YouTube and search for, if you go to YouTube, search for, what's his name again? Alf Lukau, fake miracle. Alf Lukau. This is a South African pastor, the one that raised the dead. Okay, fake. I think it's prophecy. So they did, a certain TV station went undercover and did a documentary on this man. And his right-hand man, he fell out with his right-hand man. So the right-hand man exposed him. You know? And exposed that they went and got a lady. This lady was around, I think, 26 or so. but she had like 4 children. So she was basically poor, no husband, nothing. She was poor. So she went there looking for a job. They told her, forget the job. If you can just pretend that you are HIV positive or anything in any of our crusade, we will always pay you. They wrote her a monthly salary. So they will bring her up to the church and say, hey, pastor, this lady has let me get the link so that you guys can watch it later. Where is that video? Here, look at the video here. So look at it. SABC News exclusive. Some congregants accuse Alf Lukau. In case you don't know who Alf Lukau is this guy, this prophet. If you watch any of his videos, you see so many prophecies. You think that the prophecies are so accurate. But when you watch this one, you understand what's going on. It's only 5 minutes, 4.3 minutes, 4.5 minutes long. So let me try and put it on there so you can just copy it out, paste somewhere, so that when we're done with this broadcast, you can go back. So it is there in the comment section. Local fake prophecy. Of local fake prophecy. Okay, I've posted it there. So at the end of the day, what you experience is these people, they have a team, a syndicate. And because you're a good person going to church, you can't imagine that somebody can be that evil or mischievous. You can never imagine that. So at the end of the day, you get scammed. Even in a relationship, you enter a relationship and you're being very 100% honest. You can't imagine that you are in a scheme where this guy or this lady is scamming you, and you find yourself spend so long in that relationship before you find out that it's a scam. Because what? You have a good heart. So one thing with being good, if you know that you're traditionally somebody that has a good heart, always be watchful. Don't trust nobody. Some people, that scam that you're thinking that strangers will conduct on you, it's your own family members that will do that. Believe that. You understand? Your own family members, at some point, interests will diverge. When you are born, everybody has the same interests, all right? Happy family. But as you grow older and older, interests might start diverging. And some people will scheme certain kind of scams that you will not know until it's too late. Even your parents might scam. You bring back a wife or husband to marry your mother will be like, no, we don't want this, that. Why are they rejecting that one? It's not like that one is bad. It's because they want you to marry into a certain family that they have an ancient connection with, and you don't know what that connection is, even before you are born. At the end, once they have destroyed that marriage, they now introduce you to this village or local champion that they have. So if you are traditionally good, you may not know, or you may not be conscious of the fact that people can trick you. So always watch out for that. So what these people do, they go up at, they stand on the stage, they call out somebody and start throwing prophecy. This is somebody you've never met, you never know. And let me tell you one thing in life, psychology. Anytime somebody is trying to tell you about something and they are bringing evidence that you did not ask them about, be careful. They're about to scam you, most likely. If you have been scammed by 419ers in Nigeria in the olden days, they would just carry a bag like Jehovah's Witness, come into your compound. Let me tell you a real life story, at least one that happened. Came into our compound then. They said that they are medical doctors. Are there any ladies here? We're looking for women that, ladies. And then some ladies came out. They said that there is this disease that is going around town, sexually transmitted, that it affects the period of a woman, makes it painful. Periods for most women are painful. And then after some time, it's eating their womb. Once you talk about fertility to a woman, she's scared. Because that's the one thing that most women don't want to ever lose. They were giving all this kind of thing that is eating. They brought out pictures of damaged womb, damaged this, and women that are in hospital. They say it's spreading, and that thing takes some months. So they've now brought a certain drug, syrup. It was actually cough syrup. Cough syrup that they brought. And say that they're giving the ladies, first of all, they tell them to bring out their hands. They checked their BP, blood pressure, check their sugar level, check this, check that. They now brought out that cough syrup and said that it costs about then 25,000 naira. Cough syrup then used to be like 200 naira. Because I was much younger then, I remember, like 200 naira, you buy it from the pharmacy. They brought it out and said 25,000. But the funny thing is that if you price, they will tell you. But then before that, they were bringing certificates. That is their medical certificates. This one, they said that he graduated from the Nigerian Bar of Medical Association students. This one said that he has been to Morocco and Medical International. This, that. They are producing certificates. You know, that kind of convinced the ladies in the compound, and all of them started pricing that thing. Eventually, some were buying for 15K, some were buying this. Even the young lady that is single, that they told that she refused, you know. She said that all she had at home is 5K. Finally, she when they were about to go, one of them came back and told her to bring the 5K. She brought it, they gave her. She was so happy. All of them were taking cough syrup. And that cough syrup, the funny thing is, the cough syrup made people sleep, you know, it is drowsy. So by the time my mom was driving home, those people have gone. So they were now telling my mom about people that some of them were feeling so sleepy, some have slept off. It was very funny. So my mom was like, oh, they missed it. So what did she do? She missed it. She told them to bring that container. They brought it. She drove out to a pharmacy and started looking for it. It was then that they told her that it's 500, that'll be 200 naira. Yeah? So whenever somebody's talking to you and they're providing certificate, like when somebody said, I was treated of HIV in church, pastor prayed for me, they will show video of a year ago when pastor was touching her head and she now collapsed, like fall under the anointing, you know, like Bobby Schmurder. After falling, she'll come back and present HIV certificate. Nobody asks you for certificates. You just present, like, this is my certificate before, this is my certificate after. I'm now HIV negative from HIV positive. Yay. Once someone is showing you all those certificates you do not ask of, is it like you should be taking them back immediately and be like, okay, so these false prophets, they have become a problem. All right. Most of the time in Nigeria, the problem that people are facing, they are always told that is there are people that are causing the problem. You go to a church, the kind of prayers you're hearing, you be like, seriously? Anybody that is holding you from that's your auntie, that's your uncle that is holding you back, die by fire. You know, when somebody pray, imagine going to a night vigil and all night you made that prayer. When you're coming back in the morning, and let's say your uncle is the first to come visit your house, what do you think will happen? Inside the person's mind, enmity has been created in the family. And once a family is not united like that, success in that family as a whole will become a problem. Because the one thing that's supposed to bind you, which is blood, is not binding you. So that person has now become your enemy, like seriously. You get what I'm saying? If you look at the richest people on earth, they're actually not richest people, they are richest families. You understand? They are usually families. For instance, Mark Zuckerberg, when he was young, his father told him, ask him if as a gift, like a certain birthday gift, I think 18th birthday gift or so, whether he wants to own a McDonald's franchise. You know McDonald's franchise, the way you have a Domino's Pizza. You know, you understand? And if you own a franchise, basically you own a branch. That's what the father wanted to give him. Or whether he would go to Harvard. Mark Zuckerberg chose Harvard. Imagine being offered that. It means the family, there's wealth in the family already. A better example is when you look at Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates is like the fourth in lineage answering his name. It's like something the fourth. That's Bill Gates. So if you trace his family, you see that the family is very well extensive. Then you join in with the rest of the Jewish community. Mark Zuckerberg is Jewish. Bill Gates is Jewish. You know, they usually have this bar mitzvah or whatever events that the Jews gather together as one family. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what you notice is for you to be successful, you actually need to go with your whole crew. The whole family needs to be together. Look at Rothschild's family, Rockefeller family, the Bush family. It's a family. It's not a one-man thing. You understand? It's a family, and it takes years to build. Most of the, even Donald Trump, you're seeing today, think he started today. The father, the great-grandfather, whatever, they can trace their lineage and tell you how big the family is. So when they want to come out for something, they have so many people, you know, that can, let's look at the Bush family. So you just see, inside the Bush family, they have produced about two presidents, two presidents, one family. Two United States presidents have come from there. This one is just one of the pictures. Can you see? Bush family. Do you see them fighting now? Look at this one. This is the first Bush president. He did one tenure like Trump. Bush family from the olden days. Eventually, one of his sons became a president. Another one became governor. I think they produced two governors and one president. You American people, you should tell us. Look at. Can you snap this kind of family picture with your family now? You get the idea of what I'm saying now. Some families cannot even stay together like this. There must be fight. To start this kind of extended family, you could be seeing even second, third cousins here. You get what I'm saying? Imagine that one of these persons is going to, and all these people are not random, they're all influential in their areas. If one person becomes this, they have a lot of companies, almost 30, 40 companies to outsource the government contract to, and each of them is linked to somebody that is linked to their family. So imagine when your family is trying to grow like that, and then fake prophet lands and say, I'm seeing your sister is the cause of your problem. She is possessed by a demon. That's why you cannot succeed in Malaysia. Before you know it, you're back, you're fighting your sister, you have broken the lineage and reset the family tree again. That means it's your children that will start building this kind of family again. And because you're in Africa, by the time your children grow up, somebody will give them another fake prophet, another war again will start. And the end is like, these fake prophets are resetting us. Nobody can calm down and build a really strong extended family. Look at in Nigeria, the rich people. Look at Dangote. Dangote descended from a lineage of rich people for over 200 to 300 years. So if you look at Dangote family, the thing is on the internet you just see only Dangote, right? But if you look at like something that will make up a family picture, or family gathering, you'll be surprised at how many people are in that family. You understand? So family strength is very, very important. Strength and unity is very, very important in growing wealth. But fake prophets will not allow Africans to shine. It's always your uncle about to kill you, or your auntie that is the problem. They will never blame you. They will never tell you the truth. They will never tell you the truth. They always blame your uncle or auntie or wife. Imagine a wife that you sat by yourself, found by yourself, loved the woman by yourself, live in the same house by yourself. A prophet that have never been to your house will now be telling you that she's your problem. You get what I'm saying? You're forgetting your own instinct. Let's look at which other big family, Rothschild. If you've never heard about Rothschild, man, you're not on this planet. The Rothschild family is over 500 years old, over 500 years, and they're the ones that control the banks, all the banks in the world. That money is flowing in the world is one family. Look at this, one family, one. I think these are the living ones, or they are the older ones, Rothschild. They are so big that they don't marry outside. And maybe they have started marrying outside, but traditionally they don't marry outside. So they marry their cousins, their second cousins, this, that. So they are still to keep the wealth in the family. You get, they don't want outsiders. You see, Rothschild family, the guy that founded is Salmon Vaughan, 1774. You see how old that family is, and they have stayed together. See, white people know how to keep wealth. They have stayed together. Look at this is just from 17 to 18. For each person, they will tell you what the person achieved. For each person, just go and read about the Rothschild family. You'll be amazed. You'll be inspired to grow family better. They're in Europe, they are the ones that run things. Once it comes to any bank, look, let me tell you, any bank you see established in the street today, whatever international bank or new local bank, if you trace the linkage all the way back, you end up with Rothschild. They are controlling that bank from outside. Rothschild family. Go Google it. Rothschild family. I think there's a family tree on Wikipedia. No? Imagine being able to keep a family for 500 years, 400 years. It's amazing, isn't it? Here in Africa, Fake prophet will not allow us to build our own family. You know, fake prophet will not allow somebody to calm down and properly build their family. It's always your auntie or your uncle. I'm trying to get you. They own so much money and properties in the world. Look at this. Rothschild. They own so much money and properties. It's amazing. Look at one family. And they're telling you how each person lived. So in fact, they can write a full dictionary of their family history. So each new child that is born, the child reads about the travels, what do you call it now? The lives and times of each person and what they achieved, how they manipulated the banking system in their era, and this, that, that. By the time the child is 15, they understand so much about the world more than any other person. You know? So I usually tell people you don't need prophecy in your life. Prediction, yes, but prophecy, you don't need it because prophecy means that it's going to happen. So if something is going to happen anyway, why are you telling me? If I can't change it, why are you telling me? You understand? If I can't change it and you're telling me, you're just scaring me ahead, making me miserable. You understand? If accident is going to kill me this year, fine. But what? I can't change it, fine. Why are you telling me? Why do I have to be scared up to that point? You know, I should live my full life. If it happens, let it happen. But if it is prediction, maybe you saw me driving drunk and I managed to still come back home and you predict and say, with the way you're going, you might have accident this year. That's smart. Then I can pay attention. I can ask you, why did you say so? You can say, yeah, I saw you driving drunk today, and a month ago I saw you driving drunk again. You might kill yourself one day. You know, that's prediction informed by what? Observation, experience, whatever. But if you just show up ringing bell and telling me God said this, God said that, you know. Rothschild, go Google Rothschild, man. Go Google Rothschild family. Go and Google Rothschild family. They control the world, even Nigerian banks, all the banks in the world. Maybe not all, you know, but a large percentage. See, my family is worth $500 trillion. See, we own nearly every central bank in the world. Look at, we finance both sides of the war since Napoleon. We own your news media. Or this is not a lie. You're like, I know that it might be hyped, but this is not a lie. Like, go actually Google them. Go Google them. Okay, so I'm going to stop here for these fake prophets. All right, don't allow somebody to use fake prophecy uh, to come and scatter your family. Like what I usually advise people is, if a prophet can be bold enough to come to you and say, God told me to tell you, you should be bold enough to ask them specific questions. You understand? Ask them specific questions. For instance, if somebody says, I'm seeing you with, if somebody says, even you can trick them because if it's the Spirit of God, to find out, right? So if somebody comes to you and say, I'm seeing you with a woman, who is this woman I'm seeing you? You'll be like, my mother? You'll be like, no, beside you. Be my girlfriend, you know? If they say yes, they say this woman is a witch, wants to destroy your life. What do? You ask them what is her name. It's a good question. Like if God told you that, I should tell you her name, you know? Or I can ask what's her age? How old is she? If you can't get her age, then whatever you're saying is just prediction. Just get out of my way. You know what I'm saying? So I've told a story of one day, one of those people approached one of my guys and told him that he's going to that they see him in a cult because this guy likes to dress rugged, but the guy is actually not belonging to anything. He just like to leave his hair rugged, and they have already his mom has already reported him to the prophet that he's giving her trouble. So the prophet thought he belongs to one of those, you know. So the prophet now came and prophesied and said that he belongs to, he joined that bad gang in school and they're about to ruin his life. You know what the guy asked the prophet? Which school? The prophet said in the university. Asked the guy asked him again, which university? You know, that was when the prophet ran into problem. The moment the prophet said, it's your university school now, the guy was like, okay, wait, I'm coming. He went in, brought knife, and chased the prophet away because what? This guy finished secondary school and he has not entered university. So he has been having delayed jam upon jam upon jam. So the prophet naturally assumed that he is in the university. You see? So if to the culture of respect, you cannot talk to elders, you cannot talk to elders in Nigeria and Africa. That's really ruined things for us. If somebody is bold enough to be predicting something about your life, you should be bold enough to ask them questions. Even in church, if they call you out in the open and saying something and they give you microphone, just ask the prophet one question that is going to throw them off balance. You know, what was the color of the cloth I wore yesterday? You know, the person is actually 1 in 8 chance because there are about like 7 to 8 colors. All right, he could guess it right, but generally that kind of question throws them off. If the person starts stammering, just know that the rest of the thing he's saying is bullshit. Okay, so let's look at the next um, topic for the day. Hi, Battleman, how you doing? So, Inner Tutorial said fake prophets are meant to always come. All right, fake prophets are meant to always come. The thing is, I believe personally that the biggest scam in the world was when one man managed to convince another that they are a mouthpiece for God. Whatever God it is they are serving, whatever religion, if you manage to convince people that you're a mouthpiece for God, boom, that's scam. You know, because it means that the person that is believing you doesn't believe that God can talk to them directly. So if I don't believe that God can talk to me directly, why am I praying again? Like, what's the point of the whole prayer? Why not just sit in my house? If I need prophecy, I call prophet, send him tithe. You tell me the prophecy. Why do I have to pray? You get what I'm saying? So, in fact, let me tell you the truth. African traditional religion actually got it right in that part. Like in those days, people that worship all these native doctors that worship trees in their house and carve their wooden gods, the people of the village don't go to church every Sunday. You know, they don't go to midweek service of worshiping of idol. They don't. They just chill the whole of the year. Once it gets to that August meeting New Yam festival, they go there, do the rituals they have to do, settle the native doctor with some rams, and go home. Everybody will dance, eat whatever they have to do, and everybody goes home. It's more efficient. If the native doctor is now giving them a prophecy from the idol or whatever, it's more efficient. So than for me to go to church the whole of the year and you still tell me that when God finally wants to speak to me, he's going to speak to somebody else. Like, let that person be doing the prayer now. Let me focus on my life. You get? So, there was a story that Pastor Adeboye told. I think everybody should pay attention to. Pastor Adeboye told a story about how a lady, I can't remember the details of the story, but it's like how a lady came and told him, or somebody came and told him that he was going to give her money or a car or something. Pastor Adeboye told the person to go back, that God has not spoken to him yet. That God has to speak to him himself, Pastor Adeboye, directly. You get? So, but then at the end, he also prophesies for people. And people don't ask that same question. Like, I would ask that question to anybody. If you come to prophesy to me after you have said what you have said, I say, thank you. Can you go? That God has not spoken to me directly yet. If he speaks to me, you know what I'm saying? If he speaks to me, then I will do it. Yes. Just saying, say not only culture of respect, it's a culture about not to talk about pastors. Yeah. Like, basically, you see pastors threatening. Yeah, like this New Year message. I saw a pastor threatening. That you should not touch the church of God. You should not speak against the man of God. Even if he's wrong, you should not say anything, this, that. Like, seriously? If the man of God can just walk out from nowhere and tell me that God said this, that I should not, if he gets it wrong, I should not talk about it. Think about it, right? It's like saying don't speak about the government ills. Don't speak about the government. If you don't talk about it, the thing will get worse. Okay. Hey, Basil is watching from Manchester. How you doing? Basil. Okay, so let's look at paternity fraud. If you're just joining, happy Sunday. Make sure you click the like button, thumbs up icon. Let me check how many people that have clicked it. Click the thumbs up icon. to like this page. Click, 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 click. Thumbs up icon to like this video. Let us get to the next part, all right, of this discussion. Paternity fraud, where people raise children that are not theirs for years, only to find out later that none of the children they were raising is theirs, and which means the woman in that relationship has scammed them for years, and the children are not his. Just think about that. Think about it. So let's look at it and see how we can discuss that topic. Paternity fraud. The reason why we're discussing it is that it's trending. If you go to Twitter now, DNA is trending. Let us even check Twitter. Let's see. DNA test paternity fraud is trending because somebody died. This guy in the middle died, and he's not an ordinary guy. He's an FCMB manager or so. But let's look at this first. Twitter. This is good old Twitter, and if you look here on trending, DNA test, you see? DNA test. Somebody had stroke and died. I'm going to give you the summary of that. I'll give you the summary of that, okay? So basically, if a woman gives birth to a child, modern science enables us to be able to tell if that woman is actually the mother of that child. And not just that woman, science can also tell you about the father. Not just that, science can tell you the siblings. Not just that, science can tell you the cousins. Not just that, science can tell you the village the person came from and the town and where their father came from, their grandfather, their great-grandfather, like that, up until about 200,000 years. That's how much science has advanced. So, if you're abroad, I would advise you to check your ancestry test. So there's ancestry DNA, there's paternity DNA. The ancestry one is basically to tell you where your lineage came from. But the paternity is going to tell you whether you are the father, and even maternity that tells you whether you're the mother. All right. So I'm going to gist you about what killed this man shortly. Let me just make sure that my cables are plugged in well. Okay, good. Thanks, Jerry. Jerry, thanks. So paternity. So if you're abroad, right? I don't think it's. I don't think it's in Africa yet. The tests, but if you're abroad, you can actually do a test to tell you which countries you came from. You might be thinking that you're 100% Yoruba or Igbo or Nigerian. By the time you see it, to show you proof that it's possible that your ancestors migrated from another country. So the website is ancestry.com. That's one website where you can test paternity. All right. So so it costs $100, $99. So let me just walk you through within a few seconds so you can go do it. So every family has a history, okay? So basically you come to this website, there's a free trial, you sign in, and you see, US World Explorer, all access. So there's this free membership, whatever. Okay, just read through their program to be sure of what you're doing. Then you can start free trial. Basically, if you test this, it shows you where you are from and all the details, where your grandparents, great grandparents, and whatever, in percentages. All right, and it shows you on the map. If anybody that is your cousin, second cousin, fifth cousin, 100th cousin signs up any day, it's going to show you that person right inside that platform that so and so person is related to you by 6 degrees of separation, something like that. So ancestry.com. There's another one. Some people say that African Ancestry.com is look at it, African Ancestry.com. They said it's closer because it tells you, it doesn't just tell you ethnicity, it tells you the actual local, what do you call it now, village. You know, instead of just telling me that my parents are Fulani, you could tell me exactly that these are Fulanis from Kaduna South, you know, that kind of thing. Like more closest to your actual village. If you're from Africa, right? African ancestry. So how it works is you just go to the platform, you sign up, you pay with your credit card about $99. After paying, you enter your address. So they ship this test tube to you. The normal test tube, you get it, you take a swab on your mouth or spit into the bottle and whatever, lock it up, and you ship it back to them. They receive it and they do some tests. Within 2 weeks, they will send you an email. Now you can log into the platform. Look at the login button. Once you log in, you see your family tree. All right. In fact, some people have made new friends because it connected them to cousins they never knew they had, third, fourth, fifth cousins they never knew they had in other countries. You know. So that's it, African ancestry. Then there's another one called 23andMe. 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 DNA genetic testing and analysis. Okay. DNA insights an essential part of your health. So same process, okay? Like people that have done that, they say $99. People that have done that say that African ancestry is closer to what you might want. So I wouldn't know. If you have done any of this, please let us know in the comments or give recommendations so that people that want to do that will know which one. Right? If you give recommendation, I will pin it if you have done that. Okay, so DNA, paternity DNA. So basically, if you give birth to a child, all right, you're supposed to test. Now, there's a debate now because many people feel that you should not test, that testing is a sign of distrust. If a husband wants to test the DNA of the child, that means he distrusts the child. So what does that mean? It means that he has to go and, it means not the child now, but the mother. You get? That is a sign of. So if a woman gives birth, you should just take it, whether it's yours or not. You should just take it and not do test. So, but the counter to that is that when you want to marry someone, don't you do HIV test? You know, you do HIV test. So doing HIV test is not a sign of distrust. You know, you trust but verify. That's an old Italian mob saying, trust, right? But verify. So you do HIV blood tests, you do blood group tests. What else? A number of other things you do. Why? Because you just want to make sure that everything is clean and you're a match. So if a man gives birth, if a family gives birth to a child, to me, my own personal opinion, you should do the test. There are several reasons beyond distrust that you need to do tests. In Nigeria, in fact, in several countries, even in the US, there's this baby swap business where a woman will give birth to a child and then they swap it, maybe because of gender. If you go to Twitter, like I told you, it's trending on Twitter. If you click on it, you read stories. You read a lot of stories. You know, when they are trying to wash the baby and all, some hospitals put the room where they are washing the baby and all in the next room. That's where the swapping happens because the woman is still tired. She's lying on the bed. Husband is not allowed to enter there at all. He's waiting outside. Once they bring out the baby, enter into the next room, they swap it. And all newborn babies look alike. So a woman is going home not knowing that she's carrying another person's baby. Let's say that the swap was not even done maliciously. It might be by mistake. Yeah, mistakes happen. So you don't want to raise a child for 30 years. It's only when they want to go abroad. There was this guy that wants to go abroad, right? They told him he wants to bring his family. He has gone abroad. He wants to bring the rest of his family abroad. So they told him to get DNA tests for them. He now went and did DNA tests and saw that his brothers were not his brothers. His father was not his father, but his mother was his mother. You know, he was posting it on Twitter. His mother was his mom, but the mom played an away match. Now the thing is, most women, in a way, don't always need DNA tests for their kids as much as men. For instance, a woman knows when she took him, right? At least within a week, the woman will know when she took him, so she can calculate which of the men owns the baby. All right. Then when a child shows up not looking exactly like the husband, the woman knows which of her boyfriends the child looks like. Even though the child might be looking like the woman 50%, the woman knows the other 50% where the child got it from. It's men that usually don't know and don't pay attention to this. They'll be like, my wife's what do they say? Gene is strong, her blood is strong. All my kids are looking like my wife. You don't know the other 50% that the child is looking like. You don't know. But the funny thing with this kind of thing is your neighbors, your relations and neighbors will know. People will know. They will know that this man is not the father of his children. But the man will not know. You're just walking around paying school fees, doing this, doing that, doing that. So this man, the latest one that happened was this guy was he's a high-ranking staff. He was because he's dead now. He was a high-ranking staff of FCMB. This man, his name is Tunde Thomas. So Mr. Tunde Thomas raised about 3 kids, 3 children, beautiful children. Look at him sampling his children on social media, thinking it's his kids. He raised them for almost 5-10 years, and probably sponsored a trip of his wife to relocate abroad. When the wife now went abroad with the children, she now sent him a message and told him that he's not the father of the kids. This man fell with stroke immediately. He had stroke. See, he's relatively young now, 40s or so. He went down with stroke. They treated him and treated him. Eventually, he recovered, and he now wanted to marry. He married another wife. The wife is pregnant now. The man has died like less than a few days ago. And something with stroke, medical doctors know now, if somebody has stroke once, the chances of them having it a second time is much higher. Once you don't go down with stroke once, that thing is coming back. It's coming back most death. You should just start packaging your life and preparing to go. So now, why is this man's picture here? Is because that's the true father. So this young lady married this young man and was dating the man's boss. Look at the man's boss. You understand? And the man's boss was the one impregnating her and she was giving birth to kids. While this one was paying the school fees, bearing everything, and snapping social media pictures. Look at him now. Look, this child belongs to this man and this woman. While this man, probably the woman doesn't want to take him for him. Probably she drinks all these anti-pregnancy pills. I don't know how she does it, but at the end of the day, the man thought he was in a happy marriage until the woman traveled, felt that she has escaped the country, and sent him the deadly message. He read it, he went down with stroke, and he died now. So people have been campaigning that the bank should fire this man. They have been campaigning. I'll read the story for you so you get the full gist. But look at now. The man is black. His 2 kids are light skinned. So I don't know what he was thinking that made him not to do. And it's not like he's financially struggling. Why do you need to do DNA test? On time. If he had done it at birth for the first child, the second child wouldn't have come. You understand? He wouldn't have done it for this long. He's sampling the kids, not knowing that it's another man's kids. Finally, when they told him, he lost his life. Look at this. Him and the wife. I'll read the story for you shortly. The old boss was the one running the show, while the puppet of a man. It's unfortunate. Like you pity for the man. So before I read the story for you guys directly from the news media, I'd like to see what you guys are saying. Tunde Thomas. If you want to Google the story and read yourself, the name is Tunde Thomas. If you just type Tunde Thomas, you'll see it because it happened 2 or 3 days ago or so. RIP. Okay, good. Let's see what the story says. So even before that, let's look at what do you guys think should be the punishment for paternity fraud? What do you guys think should be the punishment for paternity fraud? Let's say a court is able to establish that a woman maliciously raised another man's kid, tricks another man or her husband, her lawfully wedded husband, tricked him into raising the child that is not his. In the worst case scenarios, the man gives birth to 3, 4 children and none of them are his. And it's not like this man is infertile. There was a footballer, one of the most famous cases that made people in Africa to be aware of it is a famous footballer. I think he's from Senegal or so. He started playing in his 17, 18, married early. He raised 3 daughters. You know, when he was now in 50, at the age of 52 or 53, you know, somebody told him that the children are not his. So what did he do? He went on a day the children were in school. He went there and they brought them out, told them that they are testing that he has throat cancer. And doctor told them that they have to test for throat cancer too. You know, so they put the swab on their mouth and took their DNA sample and went and tested it. They found out that none of the daughters were his. The wife scammed him, and he was raising the daughters of another man for I think 33 years or so of his life. He was raising. So when he found that, he divorced and raised and married another child at the age of 53, married another wife and started at 53. 53. You know? So at the end of the day, what you have to know is that I advise that, man, if you are as a guy, if you're watching this and you have kids, you know, you better do your DNA test. Yeah, you should start from the ones that don't look 100% like you. You know, the ones that don't look. There's nothing wrong with doing DNA tests, and when you're doing DNA tests, you don't have to inform anybody. Even the kid doesn't have to know. To do DNA tests, all you just need is a hair sample. If you can just cut a small hair on the person's hair, you know, you can do DNA tests with spittle. If they drink pure water, like when they cut Osama, you know, if they drink pure water, somebody drinks pure water, they can take that pure water where they put their mouth, take it to the lab. They will extract the DNA from that. You can take a swab, their toothbrush. In the morning, once they are done brushing their teeth, you just take the toothbrush and you disappear. Go to the lab, give them, you know. Wait a few days. I don't know how long it takes in Nigeria, but I believe it's within a few days. And then you don't need to tell your wife. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense for the man to tell his wife because it kind of sows a seed of distrust. What if you you did that and you went and found out that the children are actually yours? The woman starts feeling that you don't trust her. So nobody says it's a secret covert mission. But also, it's best to do it at childbirth. As they're giving birth to a child, you do it so that if the child was swapped by the nurses, you will know. You don't have to raise a child for 10 years before you start suspecting, this child doesn't look like also. Like the one that happened, I know a woman, right? Funny. I know a woman, she gave birth to a child. This woman is very light-skinned, gave birth to a child, and the husband is there too. So the child started growing, normal child. But as the child was growing, the child was getting old. Look at no joke. This child is growing at the age of 3. This child already had like baby everywhere, you know, that kind of thing. The child is getting old. What? People were like wondering what's happening. What's happening? Before the child was 10. And it's not like the child is growing tall. The child was stunting. I don't know what they call that syndrome, but it's not creatine. You know, creatine, they're kind of their body freezes, right? Before puberty. But this one is not creatine. This guy reached puberty before he was like 5 years old. Here's every if you see the hand, if you see the leg, you will have one ancient man. But the child is still young. By the time the child was 10, it has stopped growing. Or he has stopped growing at 10. But if you saw him at 10, it looks like a 50-year-old man. He's not growing in a bad way. You know, some of this syndrome that some people will be growing old, they will look very emaciated and all. This guy was legit 50 years. If you look at him, legit 50. That was when they started talking about DNA test. Imagine raising somebody for 10 years before you found out that he was swapped. 10 years. And now, 10 years is a lot of time to even start raising your original child, you know? So, I think, personally, as Governments in Europe and certain countries have started removing tax on tampons and female sanitary products, different kind of panties for ladies. They're removing tax. It's a very good thing, all right? Female hygiene should be, uh, in a way, government responsibility, you know, because you can't say that all women have the money to take care of their hygiene. You get, but then also paternity test, DNA test should be subsidized or even made free at childbirth. You understand? Once they give birth to a child, one of the things that should just flow immediately is to test the child for paternity and whatever, and then the parents go home. So I usually advise young men, if your wife is giving birth at a once your wife is giving birth, as you're budgeting the birth cost, also include the budget for the test. Once the child shows up, blah blah blah, within the next 1 week, you have already taken a swab. You use this thing, um, something, and take a swab of the child's mouth, put it inside a test tube, take it to that place, let them do the test. Once they do the test and confirm that you're the father, you come back and chill. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're the father, likely 9900% chance, there's almost 100% chance that the mother is the mother too. But confirming that the mother is the mother is not a confirmation that you are the father. Yes, Ezra has helped with the name congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Oh boy, see the disease. So this is it. I'll research more on it. Thanks, Ezra. So, like I was saying, a woman can know easy. It's easy for a woman to know when a child is. It's faster. Women are more observant in tiny little things like that. To know when a child is not theirs or a child is not belonging to their husband. Women are very observant in things like that. For instance, if a young girl is pregnant, who is the first person that notices? The father? No, it's the mother. Even before the young girl knows that she's pregnant, she might wake up one day, the mother will look at her and be like, "You're pregnant. What did you do?" You know, before you know, within the next 1 week, the mother has confirmed you're pregnant without any test. Women are that smart. So if a woman gives birth to a child, she's gonna know which of her boyfriends the head of the child looks like. When your boyfriend head is like this and the child is growing and the head is going towards this angle, is this other guy that gave birth to this child or not my husband? So I think there should be a law against it specifically. The law shouldn't treat it as fraud or anything, but specifically, somebody could actually sue for obtaining by false pretense. I don't know, you lawyers, you should give us your legal grammar. But if somebody came to me to lie to me that a child is mine and the child is not mine, and through that, she was able to extract funds or money from me for school fees for years, at the end, I should be able to sue for that kind of for 419, right? That's obtaining by false pretense. I don't know if there's any other aspect of the law that covers that, but I believe there should be a law that mandates people to declare their assets, the way politicians declare their assets. So if a man is about to marry a woman and that man has a child outside, you understand, he should be able to, he should declare it on that marriage, whatever agreement. I today marrying this lady today, this, that. I have a child or two children with my ex-girlfriend or ex-wife, this, that. It should be declared. If the woman has given birth before, she should declare it too. Marriage is a lifetime thing. People should come with open hands. The way you declare the way you have to do your DNA, or what do you call it, HIV test and all. You should also declare if you have other things. If you have been married before, it should be there. You get what I'm saying? So I feel that's the way this kind of issue can be solved, and it's sorted out. It's something that the government has to get into. And you need to know that there's a rumor that is going on that in Nigeria, 30% of fathers are not the fathers of their children. 30% of married men are not the fathers of their kids. And people have been looking for the source of that information. It turned out that it's not a credible source, but it's probable. For instance, the guy that tweeted it one time said that he's working in a DNA testing facility. And he said as much as 30% of people that come there usually end up not being the parents of their kids. And this is a testing facility in Lagos, Nigeria. So if you understand the statistics, you know that that statistics is a little biased in the sense that by the time somebody is heading to go and do DNA test, the chances that they are not the parents of their child is already high. You know, it's not everybody that's doing DNA test. It's only when people are suspicious that's when they come for DNA test. So that if you are judging the rest of Nigeria by that sample, it's a little faulty. You understand? In the US, UK is about 2%, 3% of people that do DNA tests. But in Nigeria, they said it's about 30. But I question that statistics. But nevertheless, to avoid stories that touch, you can't have all the money in the world. You're building house, you're buying car, and you can't do simple DNA test. You should. So at the end of the day, I think even the men around you, it's not just about husband or wife or anything. If you have a brother, and your brother is married, all right, encourage him to do secretly, just do DNA test, just for the purpose of doing it. You know, encourage him secretly, bro, just do this test. Just to be sure that everything is in line. To avoid stories that touch. All right, guys. Let me just read this story and we'll round up this podcast. Don't forget to like. Let me see how many people would have liked. Click the like thumbs up icon. That thumbs up icon under this video. Click on it. You might need to minimize the live chat to see it if you're watching from phone. So let's see the story that made this topic to start trending again.